test. Where's the water? So it's supposed to be spraying water right now. What in the world? Alright, it's probably a familiar sight if you've seen my videos before. We got our detergent system. We got the water for the wash water on this valve here. I am guessing this solenoid that activates that valve is dead or dying, because it just worked in the last wash not 5 minutes ago, but it was kind of pulsating and not spraying much water. I think what I'll do is replace that, because I keep this valve on hand just in case. I keep solenoids and the whole valve assemblies on hand, as well as this rinse water, because you just never know when they're going to die. That's the one. Since I am almost positive the solenoid is dead, I'm just going to replace this part of the valve, because it was a while back I made a video about this rubber seal going bad on the other valve, and I had just replaced the diaphragm of it, and it's fine. So I'll save that for another day. I'm sure I'll use it again. See what I can do with this. Okay. Big money. Give me some water. Anything. What in the world? Okay, I'm just going to make sure I got a good voltage going to my coil here. I'll just check out my voltages. It's supposed to run at 24 volts when it's running. So I hope it's not a wiring issue. Here we go. Excellent. Well, putting this new coil on didn't seem to open the valve. I don't know what the heck was going on. I finally had to break down and call the Ryko technician, as I am not a licensed technician. I've just been working on this machine myself and learning all about it on my own, and I learned quite a bit, but there's just some things that still stump me. So I called the technician. He's really good at what he does. He knows who he is, and I thank him for that. Anyway, he says, well, if your coil's getting power, which I measured is 24 volts, the ohm test I did is 8, which should be about correct for that brand new valve, 8 ohms. He says, well, check the diaphragm inside the valve and make sure there's not any tears or anything like that in there, which I haven't done. So here I'm going to do it right now. And it looks, oh, what the heck? Check that out. No, I can't see it from that side. Right there, you see that little lip right there? It's split open. What in the world? Didn't seem that long ago I was changed this valve out. Well, good thing I have another one. Exactly why I keep an entire valve assembly on hand at all times. In fact, I should probably start ordering diaphragms by themselves, because these diaphragms should be the same, as well as that plate with the coil in it. It's exactly the same between this 1-inch coil and the 3/4 inch valve with the same body, where it's a similar body, but it's a part number 10212-214, I think is the 3/4 inch. But they use the same diaphragm and the same plate, and basically, and you can use the same coil too. So I'll see if this fixes the problem. God, I hope that's it, because I don't know what else it is after this. Okay, here goes. It's kind of odd that that thing had a split in the boot in the diaphragm, yet it didn't leak any water, just sitting here doing nothing. But supposedly that can keep this valve from opening and operating properly. So let's hope that's what it is. By the way, this coil that sits on one end of the plate here, This should be down at the output side of the valve. It won't work if you put it on upside down towards the inlet side, because the water comes in and goes down. It will not work that way, says the technician, which I never thought about, but it doesn't quite, I don't have the space to put it up that way anyway. So I gotta make sure it goes on this way. And while I was in there, before I put this diaphragm on, I made sure to clean the mating surfaces where it touches the seal on the brass body here. To make sure there's no dirt in there causing any leaks when I do put it back together. Man, this machine's got a lot of hoses and wiring. Can't imagine what I would do if it ever had a broken wire or something in there. Anyway, this valve goes directly, or excuse me, this hose goes directly to that valve I was working on. Sounds like it's sealed, that's good. All right, current test with water in theory, here goes. Oh my gosh. That was the problem, of the damn diaphragm the whole time. Holy cow. Nice. Well, I'm so glad it wasn't an electrical issue after all. But, oh well, at least I got a new coil on there. So, the whole problem was that water was just kind of pulsating and kind of working at first. And it was acting so much like the coil was dying. So, if you're in a position where you have to change your valve out or your solenoid, your assembly, whatever, and it's still not fixing the problem, get in there and check your diaphragm for damage. Like I said, this one had a hole cut in it, and that was keeping it from working at all, which didn't expect that. So that's two things to check for. If it's not your coil, check your diaphragm. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I have the Ryko technician. You know who you are. Thank you very much. I couldn't have done it without you. This was stressing me out pretty bad, but I'm glad we got it working again.